Okay, ready when you are.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Ramos. Thanks for seeing me again.
No problem, my pleasure. I managed to find out a great package for you, but before I present it to you, I just want to know, did anything change in the last day or so, and regarding any health situation or financially? Anything
No,
happen?
nothing's changed. Nothing.
Good, because as we know, in the past week, in 24 hours, a lot can change.
Yeah.
We start from a prime minister at 12:30 o'clock saying that I won't quit, I'm a fighter, to 1:30 p.m. I'm resigning, I
I'm
cannot
a
continue.
quitter, not a fighter. Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot can happen in 24 hours.
Very true.
So what I was able to find for you, Mark, so was a package for the critical illness and the income protection for a total of a monthly premium of £115 and 53 pence. Okay. So
Okay, that's doable.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you now an illustration of the quotes. So I used two providers to make sure I diversified the quotes to make sure that I was able to give you the best package for what you actually need, okay? The best offer that we have at the moment, okay?
Right.
So just bear with me as
Mhm.
I can pull in the quote. 1 second. Here we go. So the for your life and critical illness, and I explain why I included the life a little bit as I explained this. So this is your illustration for your legal and general quote.
Mhm.
Okay. So we talked about doing the critical illness, but I went a bit further and I included the life as well. And the reason is, Mark, God forbid, if you passed away before you suffered from a critical illness, all the monthly premiums that was going to be paying towards this cover, if I didn't include the life as well, will be lost. So in this case,
Right.
if God forbid, if you passed away before suffering a critical illness, this 50K will still be payable to the family, okay? Just
Yeah.
an
Okay.
extra sort of layer of protection, okay?
All
The
right.
main goal for this cover is to protect if you are diagnosed with a critical illness. However, if you do pass away, we still pay this money to you just to ensure that you don't lose all the money that you pay towards the cover, okay?
Okay.
So the cover is for 25 years. So this is equivalent to you reach the age 70, which is the retirement age that you mentioned to me that you would like to retire at 70.
Mm.
The monthly premium for this policy will be £52 and 12 pence, okay?
Right.
And is on a guaranteed level as well.
Okay.
So what benefits as well did I include in this policy besides what I explained to you? So I also include total permanent disability with the own occupation definition, and this with a monthly cost of £2 as well. This is all included in this £52. Okay, Mark, is not additional on the 52, is all inclusive in the price I showed you.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
The reason why I included this, Mark, is like when we spoke as well of you being diagnosed with the illness, for example, or if you sign off work due to broken a leg or any sort of thing that you cannot work.
Mm.
Total permanent disability is the same thing. God forbid if you suffer an accident, which is one of the definitions on the cover, and you cannot work or perform 3 of the 6 daily tasks, okay, we'll pay this amount to you, okay?
Okay.
So it's just to give you a bit more, because some people, they find it sometimes they're involved in an accident. It's not a critical illness. However, this money will still be great to do some remodelations in the house, because if you cannot bend over or get showers alone, you may need to do
Yeah.
changes as well. So this will go
Okay.
towards that as well, okay?
Right. I see. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
Also, I included waiver of premium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the waiver of premium is to ensure that if you cannot work, if you are signed off work, you don't have to pay for the insurance as well. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll waive those premiums from you just to give you a bit of breathing air as well. And also, I included the children's critical illness as well to ensure that your son, in this case, is Alex, is covered until he reaches 23, because he's in full-time education, so he'll be covered until he turns 23. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so it gives him a bit of, safetyness in this case, because we won't expect kids to have it. We don't want them to have, but it's a stats as well. And funny enough, almost half of the claims from children critical illness is cancer. It's a sad fact, but it can happen.
Yeah. I can see. I can see that actually. Yeah.
So it's just
It's sad.
so you are aware that he is included as well until he reaches the 23. If he continues in full-time education, okay. I'm sure you will, but I just need to mention that just until he's in
Yeah. Oh, he definitely will. So after 23. So what does that £1? That's the £1.30 we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can remove it. We can contact
that
you.
comes off, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Does
we
it come
can
off
contact-
automatically, or
No, we'll have to contact the provider. In this case, you contact me, and I'll make this arrangement for you.
Yeah.
Because we'll have
Okay.
to, because we always have to update the providers on certain
Yeah.
changes as well. Even
I
if, for
mean,
example, with your income protection, if you change jobs, we still
mhm.
need to update them as well. Or if your income fluctuates, something happens, we always need to update. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, So this is just for you to be aware. If you keep the policy during the full term, the 25 years until you reach the 70, the total amount that you'll be paying is 15,615 pounds and 60 pence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this assumes that your premiums have been retained and changed and will not change in the future. Okay, if it is not the case, they will pay over the term. The policy will be different from shown. Okay, and this figure may actually differ from what you have paid. Premium has not changed as a result of changing and increasing in your policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
So just you can see here just the total amount that you will be paid. God forbid if you suffer from one illness, you see, you still may you see it's like 35k net from the what you are paying here. Exactly. Even if you pay until the last day, and on the last day you are diagnosed. So it's always great value for money in this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this is like I mentioned to you, we are paid a commission. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
how much commission is payable? So the amount of commission is paid will depend on the size of your premium, the length
Mm-hmm.
of the policy term, and it will pay out of the premiums. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so critical illness. So the commission payable in this case, legal in general will pay a commission to the individual or firm. In this case, like I mentioned to you, legal in general will pay Access Financial Services commission, and in this case, it will be worth 1,513 pounds with 41 pence
Right.
immediately, and then from the month 49, so after 4 years of the policy, it's going to be £1.30 each month until the end of the policy.
Okay. Okay.
So this is how we get paid.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's reached. So this is in this case, you still have more information here if you want to go to contact Legal in General directly as well. And then,
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
yeah, any questions regarding this, Mark? Do you understand?
No. Yeah, I understand all that. That sounds
Sounds
great.
good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So now I just want to show you a bit more of the policy summary of the actual policy with Legal in General. So,
Sure.
okay. So these policies are designed to meet the demands and needs of the people who want to help protect against the impact of death, terminal illness, and critical illness. Okay. Is to pay your outstanding mortgage, like we discussed, but in this case, to help protect family lifestyle and everyday living expenses, which is why we are doing this one, is to protect more your lifestyle or living expenses, and also any need that might appear as well in the future.
Yes.
Okay? And this is only a brief guide to cover and exclusions, and you'll find a full document breakdown from the basis on your contract with you. Okay, so once we send all the documentation to you by post, you'll have all the booklets and all the information as well with you at all times. Okay.
Okay, great.
So on this one, because the life and critical illness, what is covered? So life insurance, you'll be covered before the end of the policy, meaning that the life cover is only paid out until the age of 70. Okay. God forbid if you pass away 70 years and 1 month is already finished because the end of date is 70. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So how will we pay if you die? If you are diagnosed as being terminal ill and the option of hospital consultant and your medical offer, this expect to lead to death within 12 months, meaning that you have a life expectancy of less than 12 months to live. Okay.
Okay.
We'll pay out the amount covered once as this happens, and the policy will end, and you no longer have any cover. Right. What this means is that once we pay you the full amount of the cover,
that's it. It's finished. Yeah, of course.
And you don't have to pay. Imagine if, God forbid, if someone takes a policy and dies 2 months after the policy, and the policy was to last for another 20 years, that's it. That person just paid for 2 months. You don't need to, or the family doesn't need to pay for the remaining 18 years. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So critical illness cover, if you choose to add, in this case, we did to add critical illness cover alongside your life insurance as your separate policy. As referred to additional independent critical illness cover, you'll be covered if before the end of the policy you are diagnosed or undergo medical procedure for one of the critical illness you are covered with, and you survive for the first 14 days of diagnosis. Okay.
Okay. So presumably, if you were to die before the 14 days, then the life cover pays out anyway, doesn't
Exactly.
it? Right.
Exactly. That's why we say if you survive from the first 14 days, and that's also why I included the life cover as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It makes total sense.
It will pay out the amount in cover in full in once. Again, after this happens, the policy will end and you no longer have any cover, okay?
Yeah.
So what is not covered? This is very important because you need to know what is excluded, and many people, they are not aware of this, okay?
All right.
So you are not covered if you give us any, don't give us a full and honest answers to the questions we ask before the policy start. Please don't assume that we'll contact your doctor to find out your full medical details, okay?
Yeah.
This comes to the part that I mentioned in the beginning, that you are disclosing to me your personal information so I can give you the best advice, okay?
Yes.
And it comes down to this, because if you, God forbid, or your client, you in this case, lied to us,
Yeah.
and regarding medical situation, any passing that has happened to you, surgeries, well, it can lead to a claim not being paid. And in the end, the person that is going to suffer is you by not being truly honest with us, okay? Because we don't have a crystal ball to know if you are lying or not. It's a trust business. You
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to do this, and I trust you to be honest with me as well.
Yeah. I
Okay.
get that. I 100% understand.
Brilliant. So the life insurance, we won't pay it out if within the first year of the policy your death is caused by suicide or intentional and serious self-injury, or in the event where you are a reasonable option, you took your own life. Okay. So after the first year is covered, but in the first year, no. Okay.
Yeah.
If some of the elements of the cover are restricted basis of the information you give us, if we do this, we'll let you know if you have excluded this policy booked under and you are not covered for. Okay. What does this mean? For example, if you had any medical conditions and I have put them in there when I'm applying for the policy, it can come out with some exclusions,
Yeah.
but this will be presented to you before the policy goes live to inform you that we will accept you as a client. So in this case, Legal in General will accept you as a client with these exclusions. But in this case, the only thing that you had was COVID in June 2020. I won't see any exclusion coming from that, especially with a lot of the development and things that has come up and happened from there, okay? But still, I have to mention it, okay?
Yes, I understand.
So the amount of cover is more than once paid if a joint policy is chosen. So, sorry, say again. Is only paid twice. This may be when the first person dies and there's a valid claim, okay? We have a replacement cover option, which could allow for the other person covered to take out a new single life policy, ensuring they still have some protection in place. This is just to give you the option if it's a joint policy, which is not the case, okay? Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that makes sense.
I cannot see the camera because when I'm presenting, I cannot
no
see
problem. Okay, all right, I got you.
If you are diagnosed with a terminal illness, which doesn't meet our definition, terminal illness cover can be claimed, okay? So after your death, or if the length of the policy is less than 2 years, okay?
Right.
So the critical illness cover, we won't pay if you are diagnosed or undergo a medical procedure for one of the critical illness we cover, which doesn't meet our definition, okay? Right. We'll cover that in a minute, but what they're basically saying that it needs to, first of all, be a critical illness that is covered by the insurance, and it needs to meet their definition, okay?
Yeah, okay.
If death occurs within the 14 days of diagnosis, one of the critical illness we cover, if you die, if some elements of the cover are restricted based on the information you give us, if we do this, we'll let you know again if we have excluded this policy, booklet under what you are not covered for, okay? The amount of cover of more than once if a joint life policy is chosen, the same as the life insurance. This will be when the first has a valid claim, we have a replacement cover option in which could allow the other person covered to take a new single life policy, ensuring they will have some protection in place, okay?
Yeah.
For all policies, life cover policies have no cash value and will not pay out if you reach the end of the policy without making a valid claim. Okay?
Well, yeah, it's just insurance, isn't it?
Exactly. But some people, they are aware of, before in the day there used to be some cash in value policies, but they were since removed. So that's why it's written in here to ensure people understand that this is not any investment, okay? This is an insurance, like a car insurance, okay?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's not a savings account. If you stop paying your premiums, your cover will end 30 days after the first missed premium, okay?
Right.
If this happens,
presumably you'll be doing direct debit, right?
Exactly, but it can happen sometimes because a lot of people sometimes we have cards stolen and things can happen.
Yeah.
If by any chance you miss a premium, please contact me directly and then I can sort this out for you. Okay.
Okay.
Make sure you are not unprotected in this case. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
About the policy. So your premiums will remain the same during the length of the policy unless you make any changes. Okay. So these are just the age limits. For example, for a life insurance, the maximum age to buy a policy is age 77, and the minimum length period is 1 year. The maximum length of the policy is 50 years, and your policy must end before the age of 90. Okay.
Yeah.
Increasing life insurance is maximum age is 74. The minimum is 5 years, 50 years, and the limit is 90 as well. For critical illness, is slightly less, so the maximum age to get a policy is 67. The minimum length period is 2 years. The maximum is 50 as well, but the policy must end before the age of 75, which in your case is 70, so that's absolutely fine. Okay.
Yeah.
And the minimum age to take out the policy is 18.
I think I'd just about qualify for that then.
Say again?
I think I'd just about qualify then.
Just about. And what this means as well, if, for example, you ask me as well, what happened on the before with when your son reaches 23, if we remove the cost, this can mean that we can actually do a policy for him at this age as well. Okay?
Right.
When this starts being covered under your policy, we can look at this, but it's something that we can leave for the future as well. Okay?
Yeah.
Guaranteed premiums. So your level of cover, if you choose level cover, which in this case is what we did, is that it will stay the same and would change, and it will not change. Okay. If the policy is to help repay mortgage, you need to ensure that the amount of cover matches the outstanding mortgage. The policy may not be completely pay off your outstanding mortgage. If you change the mortgage and you have any way or you don't adjust your cover, match your new arrangements. Okay. Decreasing cover. We didn't do a decreasing, but is not relevant to go over because we didn't do. You already have from your mortgage, but do you know what it is?
No, you don't need to read that. It's fine. I get that. That's not this one, is it? That's just
no. That's the one, your existing one that you have with your mortgage at the moment.
Yeah,
different level. Okay. So benefits for life insurance: accidental death benefit is included as a standard for no extra cost. Accidental damage, like the name says, is accidents. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be covered from when you receive your application for up to 90 days until we accept, postpone, or decline your application. Okay.
Yeah.
This means that if you die due to an accident during this time, we'll pay out the amount you've asked to be insured for to a maximum of 300,000 for all applications.
Okay.
The benefit will be paid out if the person covered or one of the persons covered sustains a bodily injury caused by an accident, violent, external, and visible means, which solely and independently of any other cause results in death within 90 days of the accident. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What is not covered? We won't pay out if there's a cause from suicide, intentional serious harm event where a reasonable option you took your own life. This is pretty much similar to the life, but it's designed for the critical. Okay.
Yeah.
Taking part or attempting to take part in dangerous sport or pastime. So if you decide to go fly planes and attempt in dangerous sports. Okay.
Yeah, I don't do that, so it's fine.
Taking part of attempt to take part in any aerial fight other than a fare-paying passenger or licensed airlines. Committing, attempting, or provoking an assault or criminal offense, which is common sense, but sometimes it's not so common. Okay.
Yeah.
War, whether declared or not, riot or civil commotion. Okay.
Okay.
Taking alcohol or drugs unless these drugs were prescribed by a registered doctor in the United Kingdom. Accident that happens before you applied.
Yeah.
We don't provide this benefit if we have been told that the applicant is to be replaced in an existing policy with us, while the cover is still provided under the existing policy. Okay. From the date you tell us you no longer want the application to proceed, your lump sum will be paid only once, either under for accident death benefit, free life cover, or the policy itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Free life cover included at no extra cost if you're moving on. Okay. So what is covered? We'll cover this if you die between exchange of contracts or completion of your property, purchase up to 90 days, provided you are accepted and start the terms, and we have everything we need to start your policy. Okay. Your free life cover will end as soon as the policy starts, and you'll be covered for the lower of your proposed amount of cover, amount of your mortgage, up to a maximum of 300,000. Okay.
Yeah.
If you live in Scotland, you'll be covered between completion of missives and you start date entry. Okay. What is not covered? So we won't be accepted for free cover if you are 55 years old. For joint life policies, you both need to be under this age for free life cover to apply. Okay. And
Yep.
we want to provide cover if you have another policy with provider covering the same mortgage. Your amount of cover will be paid only once after free life cover, accidental death benefit, or the policy itself as well. Okay. So on the critical illness as well, this is where we have the list of the illnesses that are covered. So if you choose critical illness, which we did, you'll be covered for the illness shown below. For a claim to pay out, your illness must meet legal and general definitions. It must also be verified by a consultant at hospital in the UK, with a specialist in the area of medicine appropriate to the cause of your claim, and some is covered to be limited. For example, some types of cancer are not covered, and to make a claim for some illness, you need to have a permanent symptoms. Okay. And
Yep.
so this is the definition, the full definition guide of critical illness. You'll have this as well,
Yeah. Okay.
because it's a lot of extensive
Yeah. So all the main ones are on there, aren't they?
conditions. Yeah, but it's good to have an idea, because it's not, when we say cancer, it's not all sorts of cancer, because cancers have different stages, different levels, different treatments. So they
Yeah.
need to meet a criteria. So this is just a list. So
Yeah.
for
Okay.
example, here in case it says excluding less advanced cases, cardiac arrest, you need to have inserted an alpha defibrillator. So it needs to be, this is just some of the conditions that you need to be part of. Because even, for example, deafness, it needs to be permanent and irreversible. It means that sometimes people can become deaf, but it can be treated and it can be
Yeah.
converted.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
will not be classified as of that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
But this list will be going to you as well. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can
Thank
have
you.
a list of this as well. So this is the additional cover is already carcinoma in the situ of the breast. So for women, and low grade prostate cancer, which is funny enough one of the most common in men as well. Cancer. As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I've heard that.
So it's covered as well. So again, what is covered, unless specifically excluded in the policy, in the heading that you are sort of covered for, will pay 25% of the amount of cover for a maximum of 25K.
Yeah.
And your amount of cover and premiums will not be affected if you make an additional payment, and you will stay paid the amount that you are covered under the main policy in case of terminal illness, critical illness, or death. Okay. We only pay out for once for each definition shown above. If a joint policy is chosen, most likely the insured will be able to claim. Okay.
Yeah.
What is not covered? So again, you have to check the full definitions found in the guide to critical illness cover and policy booklet to make sure that you understand exactly what you are not covered. Okay, but this will be sent to you so you can read in your own time, because I understand that today is a lot of information as well. Okay, Mark.
All right.
So extra benefits, including if you include accidental hospitalization benefit. So what is this? This is another great benefit. 5,000. We'll pay £5,000 if you are in hospital with physical injury for a minimum of 28 consecutive days immediately following an accident. Okay.
Right.
And this benefit will not be payable if a valuable claim has been made for critical illness cover. We only pay once the claim for each person cover. Okay.
Yeah.
So for children, like I mentioned, your child is covered. So what do you mean by is covered? So we'll cover relevant to any children you have in the future. So even if you try again with your missus to have another son,
yeah, unlikely, I think.
It's unlikely, but it's not zero. It can always happen. So before the end of your policy, if you are diagnosed with one of the critical illness, we cover including additional cover. They are covered from when they are 30 days old until the 18th birthday or 21st birthday in full-time education. So I was even wrong in the beginnings, because I believe they changed this recently. They changed it to 20 for the 21st anniversary. They used to be 23. So thank God I was reading this with you because at least I didn't put you in the wrong here. We
No,
managed
that's
to sort
fine.
out the wrong information I have given before.
Yeah, it's all right. At least we know now. So 21.
Exactly. So 21. Forget the 23 I said to you. It's 21 now.
Yeah.
So we'll pay out 50% of your original amount cover up to a maximum of 25,000 for a valid claim. Okay, so they get 50% of your benefit, and your cover amount cover premiums will not be affected if you make additional payments for you. Okay.
Okay.
We'll pay out a claim per relevant client under the policy, and once 2 claims in total have been made, children cover will end. Okay. If the same relevant child is covered by more than one policy insured by us, we'll pay out a maximum of 50,000 for that relevant child. Okay. So what is not covered? So your children will not be covered for terminal illness cover, for any condition that was presented at birth, and where the symptoms arose before the relevant child was covered, and if that occurs within 14 days of diagnosis, where the critical illness cover. Okay.
All right, I understand.
So additional benefits include for children critical illness. So your amount of cover and premiums will not be affected if you have any additional payment from you. For further details, please read the policy booklet like I mentioned to you. So the child is also covered for accident hospitalization benefit. So we pay £5,000 if a child is admitted to hospital with the physical injuries for a minimum of 28 days, consecutive days, immediately following an accident as well. We also pay for child funeral benefit. We contribute £4,000 to the funeral of a relevant child. Okay. Child care benefit. If we have paid a claim for a critical illness under this policy, you have natural child, for a legally or adopt child, stepchild under the age of 5, will pay up to 1,000 towards the child care with the registered childminder. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to help the family, because when children are sick, you all know.
Yeah.
Okay. And we also give family accommodation benefits. So pay £100 per night for every relevant child spends in hospital in the 3 months immediately following a diagnosis of one of the critical illness, covered up to a maximum of £1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we mean by relevant child? A relevant child is a natural child, legally adopted child, or a stepchild of the person covered, who is at least 30 days old and younger of 18 or 21 in full-time indication. Okay.
Okay.
So for further information here, can I increase my cover? You can. To apply for a cover, usually is by contacting me, or you can contact the provider directly as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You can make changes to the policy. Again, you can contact the provider or me directly, and we'll make this for you. Okay.
Yeah.
However, when you are doing these changes, we have always to keep in mind your circumstances as well, in terms of medical and life in general, because this can affect it. Okay.
Okay.
That's why we have to keep in mind always what's going on with your life to ensure that we are doing the right thing as well. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And for example, you didn't mention, but I believe you are fully British. But if you move abroad, you during the list of the policy, it might not be affected.
Unless I win the lottery and buy a Caribbean island, maybe.
Well, if you do that, I believe you're gonna call me and we can both go. I'll be your guest. I can be your guest in there. So
okay.
Please win the lottery. I want mine as well. So this is a very important one as well. Are the payouts taxed? Okay, it's a very important question for life insurance as well. Any payout we make should be free from UK income tax and capital gains. Okay, the government charge this option at any time. If the policy is written under a suitable trust, the amount of cover payable to death should not form part of the estate for inheritance tax purposes. Okay, if the policy is not written in trust, the amount of cover payable will normally go into the estate, and inheritance tax may apply. Okay, does this make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, it's just I'm sure you did already with your existing one, but we always have to ensure that these are done in a trust when you are talking about the life insurance. Okay, just to ensure that it doesn't go to probate, all that hassle that happens.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that again with this one.
And for critical illness cover, any payouts that we make should be tax-free from income tax gains. The government may change this tax option at any time. If you are diagnosed with or undergo a medical procedure for one of the specified critical illness, we cover you, survive 14 days from diagnosis, the policy payout after you die, in which amount of the cover will pay to your estate. Again, like I mentioned to you, and will be subject to inheritance tax. So if the policy is absolutely assigned, the amount cover payable should not form part of the estate or inheritance tax purposes. Okay.
Okay.
And the policy cannot be issued or assigned into a trust.
All right.
Now, this is what if you want to cancel or claim. So you can cancel this policy at any time. Okay, there's no obligation on your end. It's not no contract. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you first take out the policy, you will have the opportunity to cancel. Okay. You must cancel within 30 days, and you will refund any premiums you've paid. And if you cancel this pop at a later stage, you will not get any money back. Okay.
Yeah.
To cancel or claim, you can write to us. So this is where you need to write to the Legal and General. This is the claims or cancellation department. You have here the address as well. You can call as well, them directly, email for critical illness as well, or else claims, and for cancellations. Okay. At the same time, you can call me. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I would do. I would just call you, to be honest,
because we can make arrangements. Sometimes life happens. We might need to look again at the finances. I'm here to do that. The same way, sometimes we have to lower it. Other times we have to increase it because another bill has come out. You've bought another property. We'll keep updating it. Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to do a complaint about the services or like a complaint procedure, you can contact as well Legal in General on this address or on the phone. So in making a complaint doesn't affect your legal rights. Okay, you are happy with our complaint, you can talk to the Financial Ombudsman Services at the Exchange Tower, London, as well. Same contacts. You have these contacts as well on the form I gave you earlier.
I remember you telling me that.
So it's the same sort of, because we all financial services, so both regulation that regulators regulate them as well directly. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So also the policy is covered by the FSCS, like I explained to you earlier what it is.
Okay.
And here again, some information from Legal in General saying who they are, where they are registered as well, so you are fully aware. I'm going to send this to you by email as well.
Thank you.
So you can keep a copy, but you'll receive a full brochure afterwards from once the policy is applied from Legal in General on the post as well. I'll make sure of that.
Okay. Lovely.
Any questions on this? Any sort of doubts on the policy?
No, that's absolutely fine.
Brilliant. And now moving on then to the income protection.
Oh yeah. Actually, can I just stop you there, Ramos? So because you've done a really good job with the brochure for this, don't worry about presenting the brochure for the IP. Just go through the illustration. That'll be enough for this role play.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was really thorough. So you'll just end up repeating the same stuff again. So it's not worth it for the role play.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So, Mark, let's move on to the income protection.
Yeah, okay.
So the income protection, I went with Aviva, okay?
Yeah,
and I'm going to explain to you why I chose Aviva as I move along with this illustration for your quote, okay? So, as you can see about this document, so this is just to tell you what is this cover for. It's the same thing like I showed you before. It's still what we are covering you for, the premiums, how much you're going to be paid, how much commission I'm going to get paid as well, and in this case, access will be paid as well.
Yeah.
So what is the income protection? We already discussed this earlier, but we'll pay a monthly benefit if the person covered is unable to work due to any illness or injury, like I explained to you.
Yeah.
And we'll pay this benefit if the person covered, in this case you, Mark, is unable to perform the material and suitability duties of their normal occupation, a result of an illness or injury, and is not undertaking any other occupation for profit or reward. Okay.
Yeah.
What this means, okay, this means that you need to get a sick note as well from the GP. You cannot just wake up tomorrow and say that I'm really sick, I cannot work. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to have hard facts here from your doctor saying that.
Yeah, of course.
You cannot work. Okay.
Yeah.
And as well, this policy has no cash-in value at any point in time, okay?
Right. Yeah.
So like we discussed before, because of your 6 months of sick pay from work, I was able then from the budget that we discussed to give you full-term cover, okay, which is phenomenal, okay?
Yeah, that's great.
So you won't ever to worry about, because if anything happens to you, your salary will be covered. In this case, the 1,900 benefit, which was the amount that we thought will be sufficient, will
Yeah.
be covered until you reach the age of 70, okay? So
Okay.
this gives you a lot of peace of mind in this case, because you are secured. Regardless
Yeah.
of what happens, your income is secured, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
like we
like-
mentioned, this will start after the 6 months or 26 weeks.
Mm.
Consecutive weeks, okay, of incapacity, okay? It needs
Yeah.
to be just after a continuous work, because until then, your work will still cover you, okay?
Yes, of course.
To be allowed this benefit, the person covered must earn at least 35,000 a year, which you earn 45,000, so you are
Yeah.
absolutely fine. And I've included here, Mark, global treatment, okay?
Right. Yeah.
And
What's
why
that?
did I include this here? Because when we were discussing about the critical illness, you said about you'd like to go for treatments, okay? You'd like to
Yeah.
go and have
Yeah.
options, right?
Yes.
So this option is designed for that, okay?
All right.
Let me just show you the brochure. Keep telling me if you can see my screen, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
I still can see the illustration at the minute.
Just the illustration. Okay, so bear with me. I'm gonna share with you just another document I have here. Can you see now?
Okay, it's loading. Oh yeah, I can see it. Global treatment.
Global treatment. So this is an additional £3, okay, but it's already included in the premium that I mentioned to you. It's not an additional, okay, it's already included in there. I went ahead before you asked for anything like this. I went ahead and I put it in there, okay.
Okay, all right.
So what is the global treatment? So it's available with Aviva products, in this case with this income protection. And why do we choose this? Let me just zoom in so you can see as well, if I could, but I don't believe I can. Okay. Oh, here we go.
It's all right. I can see it.
You can see it? No,
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, like we mentioned, nobody likes to think about getting sick or getting illness, and we know how difficult it can be to get treatments, right?
Yeah.
So, with global treatment, you'll have access to treatment options. That's what we discussed throughout the NHS, and you may have some kind of private healthcare in the UK. But with global treatment, you can access options further afield too. Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
It gives the option that could be more suitable for your treatment, your specific conditions, and may not even be available at home. At home means in the UK, okay?
Yeah.
So global treatment provides you with access to international facilities, doctors, and treatment all over the world, okay?
All right.
And it is the first service in its kind in the market, leading the way in overseas medical provision, okay? So
this in a way, although this is an income protection policy, this is just a separate thing in itself, is it?
It's an additional benefit that I included here because you
All
mentioned
right.
that you'd like to have options, God forbid, if you're diagnosed with some form of critical illness.
Yeah.
So
I
this
like
is just
it.
to make it more comprehensive for you, because I'll know we didn't want to cover everything today, but I just put this little
Well,
add-on
it's
here.
£3. It's worth it, isn't it? For £3,
Yes,
definitely.
it's £3, and it covers you things like cancer treatments, coronary artery bypass surgeries, heart valve replacement or repair, neurosurgeries, live organ transplants, and bone marrow transplants. Okay.
All right.
So, how does this work? So, this gives you the treatment of the UK-based doctors and are in control of your choices, and you don't have to worry about getting there. Okay. Because so this covers you for £2 million worth of treatments. Okay. But but it's only 1 million per year, okay? So don't go ahead and spend everything in one. Okay, it's a maximum of 1 million per year, and this
I know it sounds like a lot, but I know some of those things are expensive, aren't they?
are
like
very
if you need to
expensive.
go to Mexico for treatment or whatever, then it can cost a hell of a lot, can't it?
If you look into the prices, it might start for kidneys and heart, it can cost 150 to 200 grand. Okay.
Yeah.
When you are in the private, because this is not NHS funded, we are talking about private. So, for example, if you go and do treatments in America, we all know that they have a private system, and it's very, very expensive. Okay, that's why
Yeah.
we give you this option. Okay,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
and
Yes.
your child is also covered until the age of 21 in full-time education.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
hospital admission, travel accommodation is covered for the patient plus the companion. Okay, and if your child is the one that is being treated under this policy, you can go as the policy holder and you can take a companion. You can be the mom or someone there to be there for you as well. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so
Fantastic.
that's all included. So I'm gonna send this for you. This is just a brief description. There is more to it. I'm sending this to you as well, so you
Yeah.
can
Lovely.
read it as well.
All right.
Now, bear with me while I change back to what I was showing to you. Can you
Yes.
see it? I don't think you can again. 1 second. Brilliant. So you can see. Can you see now the quality illustration again?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're back to where we were. Right.
Brilliant. So we are back to the premium. So the top monthly premium for this one is £63 and 41. With the other 52 brings up to the £115. Okay, like I mentioned to you.
Yeah.
And you can see here the global treatment was already included in the price that I was telling you about.
All right. Lovely.
Okay. So how much will it the cost to continue? So at the event of a valid income plan, we'll pay up to 22,800 a year, which is the
Yeah.
1,900. Okay. And the total premiums payable over the policy is £18,026 and 44 pence. Okay.
All right.
So
Okay.
if just 1 year you are out of work, you earn more than we'll ever pay for the insurance.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's a no-brainer when it comes to this.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree. It's a no-brainer.
Okay. And this amount doesn't include any changes and premiums that may be applied at every 3 year or renewal of your global treatment. Okay, because the global treatment is renewed every year, every 3
Right.
years. Okay, so it can renew the price. Okay, it can be lower, it can go up, but your main cover, which is the income protection, will stay level. Okay, it's just the global treatment. But at any point you can remove it as well, like if
Right.
it gets too much as well.
Okay.
With Aviva, you also have Aviva DigiCare Plus. Okay. So from your start date with your Aviva Plus gives you your eligible immediate family access.
Oh yeah, I think I've got that already because my existing mortgage one is with them.
It's with Aviva already. Okay, brilliant. So you already know about this?
Yeah, so I've already got an app and everything. So yeah, I know how that works.
Brilliant. And now this is some of the stats about what we have. Aviva in this case has paid out in 2021 in critical illness. So this is just a brief case. So claims paid 44. This is in millions, I believe. 43 claim, 43,000, 4,000, and then the amounts.
Yeah.
So for income protection is 4,300, and we paid over 51 million.
Wow.
So it's just to show that these policies actually get used, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because they never get used by good things to people. It's always
no. I mean, yeah. I hope I don't ever have to use it, but it's reassuring, isn't it?
So how much is it going to range this cover? Like I mentioned to you, we'll pay our financial advisor at the network the following. So the Aviva will pay my company 1,826 and 17 pence immediately. Okay, and then £1.59 a month after the 49 months. Okay, until the premium stop. If you choose to change your policy in the future, the amount of premiums pay may change as well, like I mentioned to you before.
Okay, sounds good.
Brilliant. Any questions that you have for this, Mark, regarding the package that we've put in place?
No, I'm happy with both of those. I'm happy to go ahead.
You're happy to go ahead. Okay, brilliant. So to go ahead, then what I'm going to need is just your sort code and account number.
Yeah, there you go.
Brilliant. Thank you. And not just to double check again, Mark. Can you see me? Sorry, because
yeah, I can see you.
Okay, sorry. Just to double check, Mark. So there's some more medical questions that I have to ask you just to make sure that everything is done by the book. So you already mentioned the COVID, but have you ever suffered from things like cancer, strokes, heart attack?
Nothing.
Diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure?
Clean bill of health apart from the COVID. That's literally the only thing that's ever kept me off work.
Brilliant. So I'll put a note in here. Medical questions. Brilliant, Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and process this for you.
All right,
Everything is going to be sent to you by the post as well.
Yeah.
And you'll have a read through it. You can contact me at any time with any questions that might appear at the time that you are reading it. Okay.
All right.
And also, just to be aware, one of my colleagues in the office is going to give you a courtesy call just to ensure that we discuss everything was done properly, and most important, that you are happy with the service I provided to you. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right. Thank you very
Any
much.
other questions?
No, I'm happy with that.
Brilliant. So just before I leave you, Mark, I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
So in your own words, Mark, can you describe what we have just done for you?
Oh, you're testing me now. So there's two policies. One pays out if I get diagnosed with a critical illness, 50 grand, or if I die, it pays out 50 grand between now and 70.
Yeah, that's correct.
50 something pound a month. Then the other one is after my sick pay finishes, pays out 1,900 a month until I'm 70. And it's also got that global thing inside of it.
Yeah.
That's 63 a month.
Yeah, that's correct. Brilliant. Brilliant. So you are happy?
Yeah, love it. All
Brilliant. Right. I'll send everything to you, Mark.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks. All right, let me stop recording. Okay, great.